Hello and welcome, everybody. Oh, I nearly clicked the stop recording button. That would have been disastrous.
Ooh.
Hi, it is me. It is Dan. We are the Explorers of Elsewhere, and we are live. Hi.
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 Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, we are live. Right in your internet boxes. I've lost. Why have we lost? Why have we lost that? That's a problem. Never mind, I'll fix it in post. I'm joined today by Fio, Nate, Livvy and Dan. Hi.
Hi.
Oi.
Hi. And we are here to bless you with some Daggerheart. And not only Daggerheart, but a Daggerheart finale. We are at the end of the open beta playtest. We started as 1.4. We are now in version 1.5. So, like, some things have changed. Some things have updated handily just before the final boss fight. Spoilers. So, I reckon, before we go on any further, before we jump back to the RMS Windfall, why don't we have a little chat about what's changed, what's updated, because yeah, it was quite a sweeping change, wasn't it? But like lots of little itty bitty bits. So I'll do the universal changes. Minor thresholds are gone, dead. No more minor thresholds now. You take no damage if you take no damage. You take 1 damage if you take less than your major, and then major and severe is normal. All classes have been given a unique hope feature, which have made these four a little bit giddy with excitement. Lots of things to spend that hard-earned hope on. Leveling up has changed because there's no more minor thresholds, so that's no longer an option. You can now, I didn't realise this was a thing, but when you level up, you can now take a domain card of the level you're going to be or of a lower level. So you're not like you're not forced to take something like one of two options, right? That's basically what it was? Yeah.
Yeah.
All experiences start at +2 instead of +1, except, well, one of them was +1, the other one was +2. So now, your sick party tricks, Ruby, might have been, was that your +1?
That was only a +1, and now it's a +2.
+2, so party tricks is now +2.
Could have done with that.
Yeah, could have done with that last week.
Right.
Last fortnight.
And proficiency. So it didn't occur to me just how bonkers proficiency, like getting an additional proficiency at level 2 was. So now that takes 2 level up options to increase rather than just 1. But yeah, proficiency like adds an extra dice to basically everything that's not a D12, not a hope fate roll. But otherwise, Twig, hi Theo. What was any special things you noticed for Twig, new in his arsenal?
Mostly, so one of the things I noticed was that the evasion, like starting out as a wizard, the evasion score is 10, which they haven't done for, I think, any other class. So I'm curious as to what effect that's had on other beta tests. Maybe the wizards are just legendarily squishy as they usually are, and they're like, let's try and not make them as squishy. The only thing I've noticed, obviously, is the unique hope feature. So for this one, it's a wizard's hope. So spend 3 hope instead of mark. Obviously, daring you to like go out with a bang, I guess. Obviously, that might be interesting with the death features that none of us have had to use yet. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. Yes, I saw you cross your fingers there, Livvy. We are into the finale after
Is
all.
that-
It's a big fight.
Is this you
Big
crossing your
fight.
fingers that we don't die, or that someone does die?
Ooh, hope someone dies.
Oh. So yeah, so excited to see. I don't think there's been any particular changes with the wizard that I can see on my end. So yeah, I'm excited.
What's your unique hope feature?
That's the
Yeah, so it's spend 3 hope instead of marking your last hit point. So yeah, again, it feels like they're willing the wizards on to not be as squishy and fight to the last gasp, which is I'm game with
And
that. To be
also
honest,
be more careful with your hope.
Yeah,
true.
you gotta
'cause
save up
and
3
in your
hope
hope.
just in case you get dead.
Yeah,
Well, the
that's
thing
your
is, like,
insurance policy.
as you may have already, as you may have noticed, like Twig has quite a lot of hope because none of his spells require hope apart from in healing. But then we've been using the healing in the downtime.
Mhm.
So, and obviously we haven't had as much downtime, I think, in these sessions as perhaps you would in a normal adventure. So I think it'd be interesting to see how that would work if you were doing a longer campaign, like how much you'd want to save that hope because oh my god, I'm not healed or whatever, or I
Yeah.
need to heal someone else. So yeah, that's me really. Yeah.
Very good, very good. And what about Ruby? What new toys did Ruby get to play with?
Not a lot. So there were some stuff for the. Let me remind myself what they're called again. Blah 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 blah. So there seemed to be some additional things to the primal origin sorcerer, but because I'm an elemental origin sorcerer, then that doesn't affect me.
Sure.
All I can really see is so one thing that I did finally pick up, and it affects Livvy as well. That Rain of Blades no longer takes 2 hope; it takes 1 hope to perform Rain of Blades, which we thought was interesting.
I don't know when OBS crashed. Yay for us.
It was only Nathan talking, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's fine. It probably just went, oh no, not him again, and just crashed itself. Crashed from hearing me just drone on.
Well, it was very, very important what you were saying, Nate.
It was. Rain of Blades is cool now.
Or cheaper.
Rain of Blades.
Cheaper.
Much cheaper. Okay, yeah, well, let's pick up with Livvy. What's changed for Greg?
What hasn't changed? No, not much has changed for Greg. I have my new Rogue's Hope, which is pretty cool, where I get to spend 3 hope and I get to increase my sneak attack to 3d6 instead of 1d6. So I basically get to triple my sneaky, which is nice. And yeah, my sneak attack as well, I can now use it if a character is in melee.
Yeah, and you also can like gamble hope to then get extra damage.
Gamble hope. Yeah.
Which that is very, very cool.
Is very roguey.
So it's
Gambling away my hope.
It's interesting that you can spend 3 hope to do 3d6 damage, or you can spend a hope to get an extra d6 damage. So it kind of like works out the same, but I suppose with the 3d6 you choose after you attack, right? So it's more reliable, but
assume so.
You shank someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
So yeah, I guess you just add it on a hit that has worked.
Yeah. That tracks. I think that was pretty much it for Rogue.
Yeah, that's about it.
Dan, hello.
Hi.
What happened to Guardians?
They've had a few tweaks. I think Guardians is always a bit of a work in progress when it comes to this playtest. They've been constantly tweaking them, noticing certain powerful features and trying to find the right balance. To keep it short, Guardian Hope, the same hope feature everyone else is sort of getting. This for Guardians, you spend 3 hope to clear up to 3 armor slots. So, burning through armor slots fast. As long as I got 3 hope, I can regain 3 armor slots, which is super handy, especially the rate I'm burning through them.
Yeah, because we were questioning, like, does that mean that a Guardian can only last, like, 6 hits? And then they just fall over.
Well, that was my worry with the new rules for taking away minor thresholds. Did that mean that also if you reduced that number to 0, it usually negates all damage, and it still does with the current rules. But my worry it was that they got rid of it, and you would always take 1 point of damage, which then defeats the coolness of the Guardian being able to just take loads of blows and tank it. So yeah, I'm glad they still keep that. At least if you reduce it to 0, you take no damage. That's great. But yeah, and the other sort of glaring feature that I've noticed or change, stalwart Guardians especially, they've now tweaked it again, where it used to be you spend a stress and instead of an armor slot, and you can do that as many times as you want. Originally, it was hope in the first playtest, then it changed stress. Now they've got rid of that completely, and now it's when you take physical damage, you always reduce it by your armor score before applying it to thresholds, which is huge. So yes, they might have tweaked like some of the armor scores and some of the way that armor works in the game, and the minor thresholds. However, this feature is pretty great that I'm always going to reduce it. For me, with an armor score 8, I'm always going to be reducing each hit by 8 before it even touches me. So that's super handy for me, who spends a lot of armor slots.
Really, really handy. Cool. So that's basically what has happened to our player characters. Otherwise, across 1.5, we'll talk about it a bit after we've finished with the Marauders playtest. But there's quite a lot more campaign world building-y stuff where they're just kind of honing in on it, because they've announced that this is like the last playtest before, I guess, release.
Yep.
So yeah. Just kind of giving budding GMs the tools that they need to start kind of creating their worlds to start homebrew adventures. And wouldn't that be nice to have a homebrew Daggerheart campaign, eh? So, with all that said, shall we start the bois? Oh wait, no, definitely not that. That's copyrightable. Let's start the bois. Let's start the non-copyrighted music and switch over. So, can you all see the map?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so for the purposes of a quick recap, you have so in the last episode you kind of finished your you had successfully defeated some wyverns and earned the respect of the captain of this ship, a very stern human called Commander Kane. He invited you to dinner where you ate privately with himself, his first mate Kaless, and the ship's wizard Melandra Silva, who Twig you know from your time in Capital City. The dinner didn't go quite as planned. There were a few stern looks, and but luckily, before it got too awkward, the ship was then attacked by pirates. You surged up to the deck to fight off some of the pirates who you've known to be part of the Pirates of the Crimson Cloud, and their ship had sort of like ram docked onto the Windfall. There was a big kind of skirmish on the top decks before the swashbuckling extraordinaire of a pirate captain, Calliope Crimson, swung onto the ship and stated that no one else need to die. They were just here for the prisoner, I should say. Captain Calliope then zoomed through the ship with you, most of you in hot pursuit, to the kind of forbidden, off-limits lower decks of the Windfall. following the trail of destruction left by the pirate captain. You burst into the engine room of the Windfall, which you know is home to this new secret fandangled super engine that Melandra has it is testing. It's the first of its kind, due to be rolled out across the entire capital city navy. And before you was a strange magical contraption with tubes and crystals and a small weather vane connected to a freestanding iron cell. An exhausted and obviously malnourished Galapa stood in the cell with silver cords wrapped around their head, waist and limbs. Melandra Silver stood in front of the cell, blocking the pirate captain from reaching either the magical contraption or the cell itself. Calliope Crimson threatened Melandra with a drawn cutlass, the artificer frozen in fear. The distraught Galapa in the machine called out to you, saying, "Please, help my captain and get me out of this horrible thing!" With all that in mind, what do you do?
Might be appropriate if you three go first.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, well, Twig, what's Twig making of it as coming in last?
I think Twig is furious. I think he is a man who has spent his life dedicated to magic. Mm-hmm. He's been living with wizards. He's worked tirelessly to support magical creations. But to think that, based upon what he's seeing in front of him, that magic has been used in such a corrupting way, mm-hmm. It's everything about it's everything he despises about those sorts of magic users, and he doesn't. Yeah, I just think he's very, very angry, and his anger doesn't come out in rage. He's not a barbarian. He's just very quiet.
Comes out in fireballs.
Yeah.
He is very much in that kind of very quiet processing, but there is a look about him that tells you that he is furious. And for a little man, I think it can be quite imposing, actually, to look at him at the moment. As he just kind of observing. And I think the first thing he does is he turns to... God, I forgot the name already. You already mentioned it.
Melandra?
The wizard he was friends with.
Melandra.
Yeah, Melandra. He's like, "What is this? Let him go!"
The Melandra sort of puts she's got her hands out outstretched already as she's trying to sort of body off this this tall dark skinned furbolg woman that's trying to kind of muscle past, and the pirate Captain Calliope stops and turns to you as she hears you enter, and you see her head flicking backwards and forwards between Melandra and the three of you. She takes a few kind of steps back with a cutlass drawn, and it's kind of swishing backwards and forwards. And Melandra looks to you, Twig, and I can explain everything, but you have to stop her. She can't interfere with the engine.
This is no engine. This is a humanoid being tortured. What have you done?
The Melandra's looking at you, and her mouth's flapping as if she's trying to figure out what to say. Before the pirate captain looks to you and says, "This is exactly what it looks like. These fiends, they launched an attack on us, and they kidnapped Del here. They're doing terrible things. Do you want this to roll out across the fleet?" Greg making of it all?
I think Greg is more worried that if we remove the Galappa, will we all plummet to our death?
So
Surely. So he's just like, well, if we take him out, we just gonna all just what? We're gonna fall out the sky? Like, I know it's bad. Like, I know it's bad, but like, I don't want to die.
You say that, and Melandra sort of like looks to you, and like there's a look of like what on her face, and then she course corrects and yes, yeah, that's exactly what will happen. And the Galappa behind her like grunts in pain as the machine surges with power, and then no, that's not what would happen at all, they shout.
Well, Ruby, you know things about air.
I think.
How does it work? Magnets.
Ruby is saying like, I don't know about this, and she's gonna pull her jewel staff and she's gonna aim it at Melandra and just kind of say like, if you are saying that we cannot fly without this Galappa in here, we land now.
Melandra like looks from side to side and I'm sorry, but that can't happen.
Why?
Well, we can't land while we're being attacked by her salt, she says, pointing at the pirate captain, and like Calliope openly like, oh, rolls her head back and tuts.
She seems she only wants one thing. Is that right? And she's going to turn to the captain.
Calliope, like, she's turned her cutlass back to Melandra, and then she sort of like side glances you for a moment, and I'm just here for the Galappa. If I can take the head of the captain, then that'll be great, but that's not what I'm here for.
I'm sorry, Melandra, but because you haven't been very transparent with us for our whole time that we've been here, like, and now we see this, how can we believe you?
Melandra sort of like looks to you, and you realise that she's really struggling to think of like an excuse or a reason to give you. And then she just like lowers her head and slowly reaches towards her, like to her back, like there's a pouch on her belt, and you hear the jingling of keys. She slowly like brings out a set of keys on a key ring, like holds them up, and then looks up to you, Twig, and I'm sorry. And she throws them over her head, sort of like behind the machine. You hear them clatter and clash somewhere behind the machinery. And she puts it like she stands a bit more defiant. I'm not letting you ruin my engine, she shouts. As this happens, upstairs, Goru, you are currently embroiled in a fight with some of the Crimson Pirates, aided by the crew of the RMS Windfall. You've just seen the captain, so Commander Kane, who was netted by the pirates, kind of cut himself free and then go rather than stay to help his crewmates against the pirates, he's gone hooning downstairs to presumably catch up with that Furbolg pirate captain that you saw like hurtle downstairs. Like you can see the fighting's kind of still broken out across the observation deck. You can see, you watch as Commander, like the first mate Kaless, cut down one of the the Crimson Pirates, who like falls to the ground, arterial spray spurting out, screaming as he like holds the gash on his neck, and Kaless sort of like takes a few steps and then turns round to you, and looks at you and shouts, "Are you with me?"
Currently, Goru doesn't know what's happening. All he knows is pirates are attacking, and the captain's just abandoned his crew. So, I think in Goru's eyes, does it still look like that the pirates outnumber the crew?
So it's looking a bit, well, with your efforts, your combined efforts, it's now a bit kind of evens, but you know that the pirates will eventually get overrun as more of the crew, because there's loads of crew downstairs, right? So they're all going to surge up and be able to kind of fight off these pirates, because the ship that they came in on was, you know, tiny by comparison. So yeah, through sheer numbers, the pirates are going to get overrun.
With that, I will probably just reply, shouting out across the deck. It's like, "Your captain's run downstairs. Do you want me to follow him, or do you need help here?"
Kaless sort of like looks to you, and she's sort of like trying to peer over to see if she can see the captain from where she stood. She can't, it's clear. And then you see a snarl, and she sort of like breaks into a run towards you, where there's this one poor crewmate like fending off against like two pirates with you kind of, well, sorry, against one pirate, because one would be like dueling with you. And you watch as she runs, she like brings her leg up and flat foot kicks one of the pirates square in the chest, launches him towards you, and he sort of like bounces off your arm onto the side, and you hear the as he slides off the side of the ship and disappears off into the blue beyond.
Noise.
And Kaless looks to you and, "Where's the pirate captain?" she shouts.
"Also down below."
Then, like, her eyes glint, and "She escaped me last time, and she won't be so lucky this time. With me," she says.
Right. And I guess I follow in downstairs?
Okay. So, Commander Kaless jumps in through the door if you want to follow suit.
Yep. Just where can I? So do I just move to the door? Yep.
Boop. And then you're down here.
How far can I move?
Well, we can just keep going.
Yeah.
Whoop. And then we're over here, and then we're going to follow the first mate. Do 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 do. It's a long jaunt. It's almost like someone's had a really lengthy kind of conversation in the time that this has taken to happen. Oh. La da da dee. There you are. La da da. As you get down to these lower decks, you notice that a lot of the crew seem to have been kind of incapacitated. So none of them seem to have been killed, but they just seem to have been kind of like wounded, slashes across the leg, debilitating, like pokes. But it looks, like it's clear that whoever dealt these was in a rush and just kind of constantly moving. But you hear Kaless kind of swear again as she surveys the devastation, and she disappears. She heads down to the next floor.
Oh, which way is it? Sorry.
Down.
That way.
Pardon me.
Oh,
yeah.
Let me just.
You can use your arrow keys as well.
And then which way?
And then. I'll probably just move you. Yeah. Okay. So, you following Kaless, you find yourself in an at the bottom of the ship, and in front of you is a corridor. There's a doorway at the end of a corridor, and silhouetted in blue light you can make out the outline of Twig. And there seems to be this kind of machine that's pulsing with kind of like blue energy at the far end. And you can hear a lot of like shouting and like stern voices. And then you hear, I won't let you ruin my engine, and the clatter of something metallic in the room up ahead. Also, forgot to pop them in. As you're going down, you find, like, you meet Commander Kane, the captain, who's just ahead of you. And as the keys clatter behind the engine, Kane, and presumably the three of you, burst in, pushing you into the room. Twig.
Yep. Can I move into the room at this stage?
Yes. And the captain, like, now the captain's arrived, he looks at what's happened, and the Captain Calliope turns round, sees Kane enter. She draws her cutlass, she swears, and Kane looks to you and, "Take her down!" he shouts. We will move into initiative proper. So, with everyone here ready to mingle, who would like to go first as Kane shouts at you to do what you must? Do what you're on this ship for!
Do we know where the keys went? Did we see where the keys went?
They are, like, they have clattered somewhere behind the machine. You know that it's quite kind of like the light from the machine is the only thing that's illuminating the rooms, and otherwise it's quite kind of dingy. So it's going to be, you're going to have to, like, it'll take a while to look for them, kind of thing. It'll take effort to look for them. So yeah, who wants to go first?
I will. I think Ruby's gonna be like surprised to see them come in. She's going to actually whack her dual staff sort of round to Captain Kane and give him a blast.
Yeah.
To Captain Kane, okay.
Yeah.
So he's just, like, drawn his cutlass, and you can see him sort of, like, staring at Calliope. She's staring back at him. And as he lunges forward, yeah, roll to hit.
Yeah, fudge him. It's a 4, it's a 3, it's a 4, it's a 7 with hope.
7 with... Have you got any plus to hit?
Oh yes, I do. +2, so a 9.
9 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. You sort of, like, fling these air darts at the captain, who looks like you can see the veins pulsing across his temple as he strides forward, and the air darts fly towards him, and like he turns and looks at you as you cast it, and he kind of brings his arm up, which brings his coat up with it, and the darts like shatter across the fabric of the coat, and he like flicks it back and looks to you, and there's a moment of confusion, like a flicker of confusion, and then it turns into this grotesque snarl, as he's got this cutlass in one hand. That's the arm he just kind of shielded himself with. He like sweeps the other side of his coat back and produces a fearsome looking handheld blunderbuss. And I should have known You lot are all the same. I'm afraid you've seen too much, and you'll be making an early departure along with this pirate cur. And he's going to steal the turn. With a... He's going to point at... Close range is what, 10 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. He takes a step forward and basically, so Twig, Ruby, and Greg, he lifts his blunderbuss up, and you just see this kind of enormous barrel pointing at you, and there's a time slows as his finger tightens, and then there's a click as the trigger is pulled. All targets. Oh, it's at very close range. Beg your pardon. Okay, in which case he'll just step into Ruby and Greg, I reckon. Just Ruby and Greg. So it's +3. So against Ruby,
I didn't do nothing.
so Ruby, you duck out of the way, 6 to hit, and Greg, 10 to hit.
No.
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 Okay. You presumably you just and you both duck. You just drop to the ground, and the sound is deafening as this like blast of shrapnel flies through the room, ripping apart some of the wall, the wooden partition wall, and the barrels behind you. And Milan just sort of like screams as the captain fires such a devastating firearm so close to her machine, and you can hear the sounds of shrapnel kind of ricocheting around the room and sort of like patting against people and like tinking off the machine. But yeah, the captain sort of like the captain curses and reholsters the blunderbuss and has the cutlass at the ready. I'm going to pass back initiative. Who wants to go next?
Me.
Go, Goro, go!
Just slow on the intake, seeing like why is there a Galappa tied up in a machine?
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing the cat like Twig throwing some magic at the captain, and then the captain saying that and trying to shoot at my friends. Doesn't quite understand, but he's like, no, and he takes a giant swing at the captain with his greatsword.
Okay.
Because of this particular scenario, I would like to add my experience, which is I'll have your back, because I'm trying to protect my allies who have just been shot at.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be okay to spend a hope to use that feature, DM?
You absolutely can. For the viewers at home, there is no hope tracker, unfortunately, so Goro, that drops Goro down to 2 hope.
Yep. 2 hope. As I take this attack, so it's the die. So this is going to be a +4 to hit, by the looks of it. Let me get the die. Oh, a critical success!
That's a crit.
I rolled 2 4s.
That's a crit.
Well, I was worried at first seeing 4s, and I was like, wait, 2 4s, 2 4s. Crit! As I try and bat to this captain who has attacked my friends. So, DM, crit success means I do damage with 2. So the full amount of damage from my die, which is 2d10, so that's 20 immediately. Plus I then roll my damage die, which, because I've got a greatsword, I have to roll 3d10 and take the highest 2.
Okay.
Because it's massive. So I'm going to roll my 2d10.
But does it still work even if you don't beat his evasion?
No, so it's an automatic hit.
Okay, cool.
I believe for crits.
Yeah.
So D10, 10. Right. So 8 and a 7 is my highest. So hold on. So it's 20, 28, 35 points plus 3, 38 points of physical damage. Coming
38.
this way. Yeah.
Oh, Dan,
38 points.
does that hit severe damage? Does it? Does it hit?
38, eh?
Yeah, 38.
I'll have you know that he reduces damage by 3, so it's only 35. Yeah. Okay.
Is that severe?
Maybe.
And because that was a critical success, I think, what do I clear? I think it's a stress.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, let me just double check. Do I not only do as a roll with it counts as a roll with hope, but you also clear a stress. So I gain my hope back.
So you're back up to 3.
So I'm back up to 3, and I cleared a stress because I had 1 stress that I'd taken, and it's now up to normal.
Amazing. Okay. Well,
Battered
So,
this captain.
you swing the sword, and it's kind of difficult in the cramped confines. But so you have to kind of like swing high. Kane's kind of almost got his back to you as he's facing towards Ruby and Greg. And this sword swings in and collides with his shoulder, and you notice that the coat seemingly sort of like almost billows out against the sword and reduces some of the the cutting power of it, but the sheer force that you've put into this rage-filled swing knocks the captain to the side. You hear something crack under the coat, and a clatter as the blunderbuss that he was kind of sheathing drops to the floor, and he's launched a few feet into the corner of the wall, and Ricochet smacks his head against it and just sort of like staggers. You notice his left arm is hanging limp, and he turns to you with what I can only describe as crazy eyes, as he sort of like turns to face you. Very well done, Mr. P.
Just because of the flavour that you put into that, I'm wondering whether to yes and what you've just said, depending on if you let me. Because you said I clipped the because I've got a massive sword. I've clipped the
Right, brag.
what's the guy called?
Kane.
The Kless. Did you say Kless or was it Kane?
No, Kane. Yeah, so you've twatted Kane.
Wayne.
Okay, no, don't worry. I've misinterpreted that. I won't do that then. My sole focus was Kane, so
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
gonna hold to that roleplay. So.
Who's going next? Greg or Twig?
What's Melandra doing? She got a weapon. She's currently unarmed, like she's just got her hands up. You know she's a mage though. No, I feel it. Kane's just shot me in the face. I will. I'll get him. How? Where is he now? He's just bound down by the thing. I'm gonna move slightly.
Yeah.
Just so I've got enough space for my tongue. There we go.
Bring out the tongue.
Well.
Can I would like to use my tongue
Yeah.
to hit him in the head.
Okay.
What do I need to roll?
Well, it's
2d12.
2d12. Yeah. So you get a hope, so that takes you up to 4. So 11 plus your stat.
11 plus 13 altogether.
13 altogether. Okay, so you like fire your tongue like a wet, slimy boxing fist across the room. And now that Kane is warmed up, he hears it coming and ducks out the way, and your tongue kind of hits the door frame above and behind him before it retracts. That is a miss, unfortunately.
When will my tongue ever hit? It's like my best weapon, and every time I miss. Just every time. It's just really slow. It's just like a party pop. Can't get it.
Anything else, or do we move to Twig?
Yeah, you can move over to Twig. I can't do another attack.
Okay, go Twig, go.
God.
Twig, what is your hope?
My hope is 5.
Okay.
6,
If
actually.
you check that, 6. I have a lot of hope. I have a lot of hope.
Did you have any ideas?
I was thinking about force pushing him across the room, to be fair. I've got my power push that I haven't used in a while. So I was going to push him out away, so then he's not close range, because I've got a feeling now his blunderbuss is down. Like, it's Cutlass I'm fearful of, and
Right.
strategically Twig is thinking about that sort of things where Fio would not. But yeah, Twig is concerned that the blunderbuss is down, so the Cutlass is all he's got to use.
Yeah. I was going to make a suggestion. You up for a
Please
suggestion?
do. I'm always up for a suggestion.
Do you actually want to blow up the engine?
Oh, I've got my fire spell. I've got my ice spikes.
If you've got enough hope, I can tag team you.
Yeah? What? We're gonna blow up the ship that we're on.
We're going to blow up. Well, we're going to blow up the engine. We're going to try. We'll try and at least break it so that the Galappa can get out.
We
What
can
do you
try
think?
that. I mean, is it? Can I use my turn to make an arcane knowledge check to see how the Galappa is bound within this machine? I do have experience. My experience thing is know my stuff about abnormal arcane.
Yeah.
So hopefully I could use hope to double check that. And also, because I haven't been using it because I'm an idiot, I do have, because I can mark a you gained priceless knowledge through great study. You have advantage on all knowledge rolls to recall information. If this roll is about magical nature of a creature or enchantment, you gain a hope even on a roll with fear. So
Very sweet.
I hope that might be useful if this roll is bad. But yeah, can I roll knowledge and add my experience to see what I can find out, so then it can be useful to see what I'm actually attacking, because I don't want to attack the engine and blow us up. What I want to do is save the Galappa.
Okay.
Be funny.
So,
Let's just die! We like Titanic in the air.
I'm gonna say yes. I've just realised, Dan, you used an experience earlier as well, didn't you?
I did,
So
yeah.
that costs a hope to use.
No, but I've already took away so I went.
Did you
Took
roll
it and then
on
gained
3?
it.
I was on 3. I took one off because I was using my experience. I gained a hope from my critical success, so I'm back to 3.
Back to 3. Okay, cool. In which case, yeah. So I will say yes to that experience, Twig. So that will drop you to 5.
Right, so I'm rolling with my experience, so that is
An additional +2.
So it's +2, and I have advantage. Are you allowing me to also roll with advantage?
So the advantage is magical creatures or enchantments. No, that's hope.
So you have so you have gained priceless knowledge through great study. You have advantage on all knowledge rolls to recall information. If this roll is about magical nature or creature of enchantment, you gain a hope, and
Sure.
even on a roll with fear. So that is two separate things.
I'm gonna have to say no to the advantage because there's nothing to recall, because like Melandra hasn't spoken about this. This is the first time we've seen it.
Cool. But I can still use my experience as a +1 on it.
+2 now. All experiences are +2.
Does it say that on here? Let's find out.
Yeah, that was one of the general upgrades.
Amazing. Okay.
So yeah, +2 to the roll.
+1. +2 to the roll. Cool. Right, let's do that. So actually you'll be +3 with my so it'll be +4 in the end with my +2 knowledge anyway. So let's
sounds good.
find out. Not very good. So you're looking at 10. Yeah, 10 with fear.
No, well, 13 with fear because they're added together. 13. You're trying to take a glance at the machine and trying to figure it out, but there's a lot happening in and around your personal space right now. There's a captain that's firing fire art, like blunderbusses at your friends. You've just had to duck because Goru swung his sword at like eye height. There's like Melandra and this pirate captain are sort of like tussling. The Galapper in the machine kind of is periodically groaning and like screaming in pain as the machine thrums and ebbs. You can hear the footsteps of soldiers approaching. I will take the fear. Actually, no, I won't take the fear. You're trying to gauge what's happening, but through the sort of the bright light emanating from the machine, it's really hard to figure out what's what. Unfortunately, a 13 is not enough. But I will, off the back of that fear, step in. And I'm going to step in with... Goru, you've just sort of like swung the sword, and you're currently in the process of kind of bringing it back into a ready state. When you hear these heavy footsteps get louder as a figure runs towards you, and you see this orc running at you and drops low, putting her shoulder out, and she's going to attempt to clear the decks. So D20 plus 14 to hit Goru.
Against my 6 evasion, yeah.
Okay.
Mr. DM.
Yes.
Mr. DM.
Yes.
I have something called Danger Sense.
Oh.
Once per short rest, I can mark a stress to make an adversary re-roll an attack against you or an ally within very close range. I think they're in close range.
Yes. Would you like
Can I get you to re-roll that D20, please, and hopefully give Dan a little bit more leeway, please?
Yeah. So is that you mark a stress, yeah?
I mark a stress. I take that.
Thank you. Yeah. In which case, I will roll again.
I really hope this is in our favour. I'm so sorry if it's not.
A 22.
Oh, fuck!
Good try.
I'm not
so,
doing well
Twig,
today,
as you turn around and go, Goru, look out! Goru looks down to you for a moment and then, gets rugby tackled by this orc. Okay. Okay. Kaless, you hear her sort of like, she emits this really loud, and Twig, Goru is probably the heaviest person you know, and you watch as this half orc lifts him, like puts her arms around his waist as best you can. You see almost sort of like grappling his shell, like the rim of his shell, and she lifts him, and you notice Goru come off the ground by about a foot or so before she runs with him, and throws the Galapper throws Goru a good 10 feet as he crashes into the far wall. And Goru, you will take 19 damage.
19 damage. Oh, I don't care about that. I already take 8 off of that, so that's 11. And why not? I'm going to spend 2 armor slots and that take no damage.
Okay. In which case, you'll...
My shell just protects me.
Yes. Well, in which case, you instinctively bring your arms and head into the shell as you bounce against the wall. But you watch as gratuitously this half-orc roars at you and then rips the sleeves off her coat to reveal bare throbbing muscled arms, and Greg swoons somewhat.
Oh my goodness. Can she throw me next?
She then Captain Kane has drawn a cutlass, and by comparison, the cutlass that Kalesh draws looks like someone's taken the blade of a guillotine and turned it into a cutlass. It's huge by comparison. And I will then, seeing everything that's happening, Melandra, I'll activate her, and she's going to just and duck and dive between all of you, and she makes a dash for it. She's just out of there, and that's back to you guys. So what do you do? Oh, and closes the door.
Bye.
Bye. I think Nate, you wanted to go some next, did you?
I can.
I should probably actually. I've just realised she's not really an enemy right now. So before you do, basically every time all 4 of you have a go, I'll step in with Calliope. So she's going to. Twig, you're not having a great day, are you? With the wyverns, and then the awkward dinner, and then the pirates. Well, this furball woman who towers over you, she surges towards Kane, with her cutlass out, and you find yourself sandwiched between the 2 captains as they begin fighting over your head. So she's going to.
Everyone else gets all the fun.
Hot, but also
Where's her attack? Oh, there it is. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So she's going to attack Kane. Okay. So yeah, there's just this flurry of blows, and you're just and you hear these metallic rings kind of explode out from above your head, as the 2 of them just they're perfectly circling, semi-circling around you as well, just with you in the perfect center of them. And yeah, the 2 are embroiled in what appears to be a fight to the death. So yeah, who's next?
I really want to get this Galapper out.
Yeah. While they're entertained, can I go and see if I can find... Can I go over this way? And can I do I forgot what the roll is called. I want to see if I can find these keys.
Maybe an instinct?
Yeah, it's perceive.
Perceptione?
Is there... I'm not looking at the right
Yeah,
page.
I think instinct is
It'd be an instinct, which is perceive, sense, navigate.
Okay. Yeah, roll me an instinct.
13.
13 with Fiar. Okay.
Oh no.
Do you have any pluses to your instinct?
Nope.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to... I'm not going to take the fear. but okay, so you begin clambering over the machine, and like there's whirly bits, there's thrusty bits, there's spinny bits, there's flashy bits all over and like there was one pipe that you thought was a handle, and you put your hand on it and it electrocuted you a little, and like all the while the pulsing light that's coming from this is just like making it really hard to focus on anything. Unfortunately 13 is not high enough to find the keys. But you, by the sounds of it, are currently on top of the machine. Okay, what I will do... so, Twig, you can hear all of the sounds of clashing steel over your head, and you're just sort of like ducking backwards and forwards as like legs, step forward as they riposte and feint and counterattack, and you hear the sound, like Melandra's voice shouting, "Hurry, get in there!" she shouts. And you hear footsteps, like running footsteps, and the door opens and 2 crew members arrive, and I will spend 2 fear to bring in some recruits. Down to 2. Cool. So there are now two crewmate mooks in the initiative. These look quite burly by comparison. Wouldn't you know it? Who's next?
I can go next, but what do people want me to do? Do they want me to attack, or do they want me to...
I think, in my eyes, if we can get rid of some people, then it makes our time easier to search for our keys.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's my thoughts, but go with what you feel Ruby would do.
I'm just trying to look at something that I haven't really used before. No, I think that's only on a spell card, which is a bum. I mean,
we could tag team again if you want.
I mean, okay, so I'm gonna do this. Check it out, guys. I am going to, because... So, who is very close? Commander Kane and Lieutenant Colonel
Kless is probably... Yeah.
But they're both in close range.
Yeah.
They're very close
The crew,
range.
I'm going to say the crewmates are not, because they're on the other side of the door.
Oh, that's fair enough. Okay, let's see if this works. I am going to perform Rain of Blades.
Rain of Blades!
Rain of Blades. But I can also do something. I can channel Raw Power. So once per long rest, you can place a domain card from your loadout into your vault and choose either to gain hope equal to the level of that card, and Rain of Blades is level 1, or enhance a damage dealing spell by dealing extra magic damage equal to twice the level of the card. So it will... But the card I'm going to get rid of is Floating Eye, which is a level 2 domain card.
Okay. Okay.
So let's see what happens first.
Right.
Let's see if I actually succeed. So it is...
Do you want to tag team this?
Yeah, we
Is this the limit break?
Chances.
The thing is that I've only got 1 hope, so...
I've got you
can't-
marked as 2. If Twig wants to tag team in...
Yeah, I will.
got a load of hope.
Yeah. I mean, I've got loads of hope, so I'm more than happy to use. I've got my ice spikes, which I don't require hope to use on my end at all, which is quite useful. So it could be that we use the spikes and the blades at the same time. So it's like a nice rain of spikes and blades.
Blizzard of Blades! Okay, so is Twig using 3 hope?
Is it 3 hope? Yeah.
Okay, down to 2.
3 hope it is.
Okay, so Twig can roll the ice spikes. Ruby, if you roll your Rain of Blades.
Rain of Blades.
Okay.
Nice.
Do we want to take the 13 with hope plus mods or the 13 with fear plus mods?
I get.
Actually, I also get a +2 as well.
I also get a +2.
So
take the hope.
15 with hope.
15
with hope.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's Twig that. No, who gets the hope? Twig? Because you're using Twig's roll, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and is that against everyone, or do you roll twice?
It's usually the same roll for each
everyone.
enemy.
Okay, cool.
Make a spellcast roll on all the targets you succeed against.
In which case, like, Kane is like back and forthing, when suddenly the goblin at his feet like fires up these ice spikes as Ruby. You, what does your Rain of Blaze look like in this moment?
I think it's going to look like Rain of Blaze. Now, I think seeing these ice spikes come up, I think Ruby's going to sort of cast some sort of air blaze that sort of knock them into the direction of towards Kane and the crest.
In which case, he like this. Clearly, he's a bit of a seasoned veteran. As the blade's coming, flying towards him, he takes a step back, like dodges out the way of one of Calliope's swings, and then brings his coat over his head, and the magic slides off him. A 15 does not hit him, but it does collide straight into his first mate, who stood behind him, and just sort of like is blindsided by the magical assault. So, if I could get you both to roll your damages. And is it like half damage on a miss, Nate, or is that not a thing?
I don't know. Anyone?
What's that? Sorry.
Is it half? If it's half damage on a miss, I don't think so.
Or are we letting D&D into our games?
Yeah, that might be D&D terms.
Yeah,
It'll be whatever is it says on the card.
So 2
Doesn't say.
D8. And shall I use my channel raw magic or save it for now? Because that's where I spend. I basically get rid of a card and I can deal extra damage.
Haven't you got one where you spend hope to do extra damage?
Yes, no, I don't. I've got minor illusion.
Yep.
Oh no, hang on.
Or is that a...
No, it's my elemental one. Describe how you can control over this elemental and helps an action roll, and you can make it add either a +2 to your roll or +2 to your damage. Okay, so I'll add +3 to my damage. So yeah, that'll make it 8.
Okay, 8. Are you adding anything else?
For me, no.
Would the +2 have made a difference to the hit to the captain? If it was to hit.
Maybe.
Do we want to?
And you could
retcon
do
it a
some
bit.
damage to the captain if you put a +2 to the captain.
Yeah, so if
But
it's
it might hit, might not. But
so if it's a 17, with a 17 hit done.
The captain brings his coat up, but doesn't manage to shield himself in time before he's buffeted by the spell. Now, would you like to roll for damage? Well, you rolled a 5. Are you burning cards, or are you cutting chunks of your character sheet out? And
I can't burn a card. Oh no, I can, because I don't need to spend hope on it. Yes, I will burn. I will burn a card, and I will enhance the damage dealing spell by dealing extra magic damage equal to twice the level of the card, and the card is level 2.
okay, so that's not like extra dice rolls. It's just like a flat +4.
Yeah, just a flat
Just
+4.
Okay, cool. So 4 from Twig and a grand total of 9 from Ruby. So 13 damage. Cool. The two of them are bashed about, and they've both knocked back by the combined elemental assault, and it seems like they've both taken major damage from that attack.
Yes. Captain's taken severe and
Well
major.
done, mate.
Woohoo! Well done, guys.
Okay, and the captain looks to you and wretch, he shouts. Who's up next, and/or is Ruby moving?
Yeah, I think Ruby's gonna move. Ruby's gonna move back a bit.
Flee. Okay. So who's going next? We've had a Goru or Twig.
Would you like to go, Twig, or would you like me to?
I'm
go?
good because I don't think Greg has been for a bit either.
No, Greg went last time because he did a little check, didn't he?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, of course.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Goru, go.
Yeah. In that case, Goru moves back into the space he was thrown away from,
Yeah.
and dragging his sword behind, he is going to make a swing for it. I won't be using experience or anything in this time, so I'm trying to save my free hope just in case. In fact, do I want to use that now? Because I'm quite low on armor. Do you know what? Because it doesn't... I'm assuming that a unique hope feature doesn't cost you any action. It's just something you can just do, by the looks of it. So yeah, I might spend my 3 hope now
Okay.
to regain 3 armor slots.
Okay. So down to 0.
Yep, I got 0 hope, and I'm down from that, and now I've got, I've only spent 1 armor slot now.
I'm
so I've got my armor
imagining-
slots back.
I'm imagining that this looks like Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible cocking his arms.
Yeah.
I think more of, because Goru's just went into a bunch of, like, I don't know, probably some crates and stuff. Some of them got stuck on a shell, and he's more bulkier somehow. Because he's got spiky shell protrusions. But yeah, so Goru will come up, and yeah, so that means I can't do the whirlwind feature, but that's okay because I'm going to aim straight at the captain. That's fine. I'm going to attack the captain. Right, let's do the roll. Please hit. That's not going to be great. I rolled. What's my plus? That's plus 2. So I only got a 12 with fear, unfortunately.
12 with fear. Eh?
Yeah, not good this time.
I
Wake up, but can't get the sword around with all these people in the way.
you go to swing the sword. Who is it you're aiming at?
I was aiming for the Captain
Okay.
Payne.
In which case, as you go to swing, suddenly Kaless steps in and brings up this heavy cutlass that she's wielding, and she parries you near the hilt, like near the handle of your sword, so she's able to get more leverage to then, with that, like her muscles ripple as she catches your blow, cushions it, slows it, and then pushes you back, and looks to you and, "Your fight with me," she shouts.
With that, because I rolled with fear as a Seaborn, I get a token on my sheet, so I can use that token for any action roll next time.
Okay, very, very good. I am going to step in, and Kaless is going to immediately follow up on that parry with her own swing back at you. So it's a d20 plus 5. So yeah, she pushes your sword back and then with a wide sweep, a 19 I assume will hit.
Yep.
And that does oof a doof 2d12 plus 2, 14 damage, Goru.
Okay, so 14, immediately take 8. 1, 2, 7, 8. And I'll spend, so that brings it down to 6. So then I'll spend 1 armor slot to make it no damage.
Okay. In which case, the sparks fly off as it slides across your iron-like shell. And you see her sort of like grinning in anticipation. Kane is also, so that's one for me. Kane will also then activate. He is still engaged in combat with Calliope over your head, Twig. He actually is going to like he sort of like bats one of Calliope's strikes away and then shouts, "Clear out these filth!" And the two crewmates in the doorway surge forward into the room. One runs up to you, Ruby. One runs up to... He's gonna join in the fight with you, Goru. So these two kind of really burly looking crewmates that you haven't seen before, they... First one against Ruby. Oh, well, that's the last one. 14 to hit.
Yes, it does.
And the cutlass swing deals you a mighty 16 damage.
I'm gonna expend 2 of my armor to get it down to a 14, so it only takes major damage instead of severe damage.
Okay, so 2 damage to Ruby as you cry out. Oh wait, sorry. Scratch that. You take 8 damage. It's half.
Oh, okay.
So 8 base.
That's still major.
Okay, cool.
If it was 8 damage total. Okay,
Yeah.
I still spend 2, and it will go down into a minor. So
Sure. So one hit point, and the other one will also swing at Goru. 19 to hit, so I'm assuming yes.
Yep.
So half of this, you take a mighty 3 damage.
Do you know what? I'm actually thinking I might let this hit me. I appreciate.
Grazes your cheek.
Yeah, it grazes his cheek, and I almost want it to almost annoy Celeste more. That the little grunt.
Little grunt.
I'm almost imagining this as a Thanos. All of that for a drop of blood. But Kane. So Kane can activate when he declares this.
Oh wait, did you say how many points of damage was it?
3 damage.
Oh wait, I automatically negate the
Negate
damage
it
with
to
my,
0,
my
yeah.
ability. Sorry.
Right. Well, I'm just going to roll.
Sorry.
To see how many. Okay, so 5 allies can activate in total. So Celeste then will also surge forward by her captain's commands. So she'll swing at you again, Goru, for 11, which I know is a hit.
Yep.
And she does 4 damage.
Reduced to nothing.
Yes.
As
Cool.
I just parry it with my giant plank of a blade.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the captain's turn. Next up is Twig.
So I'm angry. This is not going well. I'm not pleased. I'm stuck under these 2 people. My spikes doesn't seem to do anything. So it's time to get out the big guns, guys. It's wild flame time because I'm close to 3 people. I am stuck underneath the captain, and I've got the Celeste and the Burly. So yeah, just as a reminder of what Wild Flame does, so I make a spellcast roll against up to 3 enemies in melee range of you. They are all in melee range of me, let's be honest. A flame erupts from your hand. I deal 2d6 magic damage and a stress to any you succeed against. So that means I gain a load of stress.
Okay.
If I succeed.
But
So I think I do it 1 each. So I
you
have to
do or they do? Sorry.
I do. I gain stress.
Okay.
So if I hit everyone, I gain 3 stress. if I hit one person, I gain one stress.
Okay.
If I hit two, I get two.
Sounds
so
good.
It's a gamble. Let's go for it. Let's go.
So now to gamble.
So first one. Oh, I'm just gonna roll it. Okay, I'm gonna say it's Birdie Man. This one will be for the captain. Worst, great, and then we'll go with Kaless. All of those have +2 on them, so Kaless's is probably the only one that
16,
hits. So
a 16. So do you take? I assume you're not taking. Are you taking Hope and Fear off the back of these?
well, hang on.
Sure. Or do you just roll once?
A spellcast roll.
Do you do one spellcast roll?
Yeah, that's the thing.
And
I don't
it
know.
counts for everyone.
Yeah,
but obviously
that's right.
They have
I
different-
think it's
they
one
have
for
different
all.
classes.
So because I'm feeling
Sure, of
kind
course.
and benevolent.
Can I just roll one more
we're
time?
just gonna,
and then
that never happened, did it, for you?
Let's do it again.
Let's gonna do it again.
Don't worry,
We're gonna
we're not live. No one will
Okay.
notice.
Crit 20, let's go.
There we go.
Yay.
plus. Thank you, benevolent DM. Don't kill me. So yeah, that's with Thea though. So it's. Oh my god! I hope if that hits everyone. Okay, 9, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 21 with Fear.
Wouldn't you know it? When they're down to like 1 hit point, their evasion doubles. So actually, it's that is a hit. Roll your 2d6 damage.
Roll 2d6 damage. 11.
No boost or anything?
No, it's just 2d6. I can't have any
Okay.
boosts, sadly.
You take 3 stress.
Yeah, because I hit everyone. Jesus Christ. This poor goblin, man. He's never having a good time. That is
And
so bad.
Goru, you watch as this goblin. What does this look like for you?
I genuinely feel like it is one of those anxiety attacks for him again. So it's very much he's stuck under everyone fighting. He's not been able to move, and I feel like that's why he hasn't moved. Is he's just not been able to get out of the way, and it's more like a frustration with the situation. That I feel like I think it's actually quite. I think he touches them. I don't think it's necessarily that the fire comes out of his hands this time. I think he reaches out and grabs them one by one, and the fire just kind of spreads up their body because they're not looking down at him. They're too preoccupied with everybody else.
Yeah.
So I feel like the fire just starts to travel up,
It's like
and it's just horrendous kind of wildfire just travels up their body.
It's like a child has just tugged on your sleeve, and when you peer down, they've got a flamethrower. Just
Basically, yeah.
okay.
Like this, mother.
In which case, the 3 airship crewmates, so the captain, the first mate, and the crewmate, go up in flames. Like Kane, like brings his arm up and as his coat ignites, and the other 2, like their clothes catch fire and they kind of skitter and scatter. Kane back like on fire. He's trying to pat it out, but the sort of like the magical protections that was protecting him against your sword, Goru, against your air darts, Ruby, they're almost kind of dampening his hits to try and put the flames out. And he's like in his panic, he's sort of like staggering around, and he staggers out of the room, and you see him sort of like go down the hallway. Melandra sees him coming, and she's trying to stay back from him as he's wailing around, like a really sick pyro stunt gone horribly wrong. And like the 2 of them end up towards the back of the deck, with him desperately trying to get the coat off. But yeah, he looks like he's very, very, very preoccupied right now. The other 2. Oh, you gone?
Go on. No, I was just gonna. I think I wanted to say something. Like, I feel like out of anxiety, Twig just says, "You're not calling me or any of my friends filth ever again." Like really, really angrily. So yeah.
Perfect. And like you shout that as he's yeah, because he's really kind of tangled up in this thing. It's like his tricorns just caught fire. The others take minor damage, so 1 hit point each on Kaless and the thug. And sort of like as he goes and you shout that, Calliope, who stood behind you with her cutlass out, looks down to you and, "Well said," she says. And she, on her turn, because you've all had a go, she spins on the spot and "Help me get him out of this! Help me get him out of this!" she says. And she runs up to the cage, because Gory, it looks like you've got your fight sorted. And she... You're fine. She will... I want to find her stat block. Okay. Hilariously, you lot would be much better at this than me. Never mind, I've rolled a 20. And she walks up to the cage that the Galappa is in, and with a swing of the cutlass, she shears the lock clean off. And it clatters down to the ground, and she like pulls the gate open, and she stood there looking at this Galappa, who's currently like got their arms stuck in, effectively, so they're connected to the machine they've got their arm in like tubes, from sort of like the elbow up, and then there's all sorts of like wires and whatnot coming off them as well. And she's looking at it, trying to figure out how best to extract this Galappa. But yeah, she looks up to you, Greg, and "Help!" she shouts. Back to you guys.
Fab. I will jump down. Well, that's one way in, I guess. I was just gonna get the keys, but whatever. You do you, love. You do you. Right, let's have a
When
look
in
at
doubt,
this thing then.
brute force.
Yeah. You're a powerful woman, I will say. So, let's have a look. If I used... Would it be Tinker? To see if I could figure out... So that's finesse. Control, like,
Yeah.
Tinker.
So effectively, you're trying to, like, in this moment, because you can see that this Galappa is rigged in.
Yeah.
So really, the question is, how can we extract them without?
Safely.
Yeah, basically, how can we get them out safely?
I've also got, one of my experiences is there's always a way in.
Okay.
Can that also be there's always a way out?
Sure, why not? Why the hell not?
It's meant to be able to get into breaking into people's houses, so there's I think you could break out of someone's house.
I'm feeling kind. Let's go with that.
Fabulous.
Theo as well.
Yeah.
I think we've lost Theo. He's burned everyone. He's out.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Burn them all. So that is this one. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 with hope.
17.
Oh no, more than that, 17, 18, 19.
19.
19 with hope. Greg knows all about magical constructs.
Which
and
hand
bondage.
do you use?
I'm using my magical bondage hand.
It's a big rubber glove, so it's insulated.
Yeah, exactly.
Describe to me how you extract this Galappa from the silver engine.
It's like a kind of Mission Impossible, which don't cut the blue wire. So, it's just going through all of them, and for whatever it's just, well, no, don't want to do that. No, don't touch that one. That's so good. Just follow it up. Just like grabs, what's her name? Calliope.
Calliope, yeah.
Calliope's hat. Calliope. He just just hold this one for a second, and just gets her to hold like one of the things as he's going around. And then he just takes like one out, and they all just go, and they all just tinker out as he just pulls one little
In which case, as you pull that one wire, the machine does in fact and powers down, plunging you into some darkness. And you hear a click as the arm restraints like unlock and like pull apart from one another, and the Galappa like flops forward, and the Furbolg pirate captain like stoops down and catches them before they hit the deck, and she says, "Don't worry, we've got you." And she turns over her shoulder she looks to you, Greg, and "Thanks," she says as she stands up, and like she's quite tall, so she's having to stoop in order to get the Galappa's arm over her shoulder, and she says, we need to get out. I don't think Kane's going to be down for long."
Yeah, well, I don't want to stay on a bloody airship with no engine, do I? Sorry, mate. I didn't. What, you know.
Yes, it would seem, because the Ruby, Goru, you've noticed that the room is significantly darker than it was a moment ago, but you feel like a lurch ripple through the ship, as it would seem someone has turned off the engine. So, who do you want to move, Greg? Move a little bit further.
Greg is moving as fast as he bloody well can. He's like, "Oh, yeah, cheers, love." And he's gonna go towards the door.
Okay. Well, in the have we got a Fio back?
Got a Fio in the Discord, but not. Oh no, just gone.
Oh, okay, he's gone.
Um,
He's had enough.
you noticed him. Oh.
Well,
He's back.
Oh, okay. Well, in this moment, Calliope tells you that the time, we need to go. She says, "Who's up next?"
I'll just shout over. "Go on, lads! We've got to get off this ship."
For the purposes of Fio,
the captain within 30.
well, just real quick, Fio.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything. Can you hear me?
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear you. Hello.
Yep.
For the purposes of Fio, the engine's just been turned off. So, Dan, you were asking.
Sorry, I was just wondering, is because the captain just moved, because he was doing something. Is he within that 30-foot walking distance?
It would seem he's about 42 foot away. He got an extra 20% oomph in his step because he was on fire. Actually, I could set him on fire, couldn't I?
Yes.
Do it.
I could make him a light source.
I want to cut him down.
I just want to kill him.
I just want to cut him down, DM.
I mean, you can if you want. I'm not stopping you. He is on fire,
Well,
though.
we don't want the captain to recover. I want the captain to go down.
Yeah, well, the ship's going down anyway, so.
Yeah, he can just go down with the ship.
But then I guess you guys can't.
Like a real captain should do.
I guess you guys can't really get past these two in front of me at the moment, so I guess I do kind of have my hands full. Right, I guess I better attack the guys in front of me then, aren't I?
Before you attack things.
I don't. That's. Do you know what? I'm gonna attack Kalis.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. And I'm gonna spend my token I get to get an extra +1, so I'll +3 to the roll. Yeah, that's all I can do. So let's roll. Woohoo! 22 plus 3.
That's a big
so
hit.
25 with fear.
25 with fear. That is a hit, Mr. P.
Okay, and Unfortunately, because this is a fear roll, not a hope roll, so I can't do my whirlwind attack. But I already aimed my attack at Kaless, so that's fine. I'm gonna do my attack now. Do I get +3 to the damage? Yeah. So let me just roll my d10s quickly. 9 + 7.
16.
4, 5, 6, 7, and +3. So that's 19 points of physical damage as I just look at Kaless and just bash it. Actually, no. How much damage do I do to this Kaless?
So you do 19 damage.
Yep. And is Kaless still standing?
So that seems so Kaless is currently, you know what? Like she's not going to have her nimble footwork because she's currently busy putting herself out. Like she's managed to smother the flames on her coat, and she does so just in time to take a full whomp from your sword for major damage.
Major damage, and are they still standing?
She is, it would seem.
Okay, so in the flavour of that they're still standing, it was more of just looking at Kaless on fire, putting themselves out. Gory will grab the shoulder of Kaless and bring Kaless into the sword almost, but not getting an accurate enough hit to do fatal damage, but enough to really like gut into Kaless. As Agoro says, "Get out of my way."
Okay. I will say, yeah. I mean, that sounds like you could probably body her into the corner next to the door.
Yep, and I guess the problem is I can't really move that well because there's still one henchman in the way. But it's not. Are people moving? Are we all moving? Is this the thing, or
We
are
need
we
to
trying
get
to kill
out.
our way out?
We can get out, yeah.
We need to just get out. I think the ship is gonna go in free fall reasonably fast.
I just move my full speed towards the captain.
Okay. The crewmate, distracted as well by being on fire, does not kind of move to block you. But yeah, you can move 30-ish feet.
Yeah, how far is the 30 foot? Or is it measured?
So are you just moving straight to the stairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm straight towards near wherever I see the captains.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah.
Where at the end you can hear with the captain on fire. He's got a little fire icon.
I'm coming for him. I'm coming for him.
Who's next?
I've got a big burly man in front of me. I'm gonna have to fight him off.
Just a note, DM, as well, because I rolled with fear.
Yeah, I took a fear. I'm up to 3.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure. Sorry.
I would like to attack with my dual staff and hopefully deal some damage on him and push him out of the way if I can.
Okay.
Let's do... That is nice. That is a
17.
17 plus 2.
That's it. Well, 15 plus 2. Yeah, 17 hits.
Plus 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Roll for damage.
Roll for damage. It is 2d6 plus 3. Right. That's 5.
5. That is unfortunately minor damage, but it's still damage. But yes, the crewmate kind of bounces out of the way if you want to make a dash for it.
Yeah, I can do 30.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, something like that. That'll do.
Something like that.
That'll do. Who else is going next? I think it's Twig now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go to it, go.
Just to double check, the moment that, because I disappeared just as we were releasing the Galappa.
Yes.
I'm assuming we released the Galappa badly, and now the machine is malfunctioned and we need to leave.
No, it was perfectly released, but the machine turned off.
Okay, great. That's great. We're still leaving. Okay, cool.
You can
Just
move
wanted
and
to check.
shoot something,
That's true.
or shoot something and then move.
Let me just double check. Done a lot of that tonight. I want to. Where are we? I think I'm going to. I've got this man on fire in front of me. Can I get past him?
Yeah.
With any issues?
So
Or-
Yeah, he's
the
on
crewmates
fire.
in the room are distracted enough that you can slip past.
Ruby's got past as well. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna follow everyone out into the hall with Ruby, and then I'm going to
So you know the stairs are to the left, basically to the left and right, here and here.
I think, because a bit like Guru, I don't want this guy to wake up. So makes me so angry.
We don't want them chasing us. We need to put them down.
True. I want to use ice spikes on this man again, so he might be on fire, but it'll be then feeling to the floor.
Okay.
Let's go.
Twig's
angry
a
little
cold-hearted
goblin.
Killer.
He is, honestly, you do not mess with this little goblin. Like, this is... Okay,
This
so
scary
8,
little
9, 12, 13, 14... It's 15, but I don't think that hits him, unfortunately. It's very annoying.
With hope, though.
It's 15.
No,
13 with hope. Oh, 15 with hope, bring on. I don't know, gang. Should the GM fudge it?
Yeah.
Tell you what. I'll let you spend a hope to get +1 to the roll.
oh, the one hope that I have left.
You're on 3 at the moment.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll definitely use a hope then. Yeah,
There we
absolutely.
go. Carl's given the thumbs. I suppose it's almost a thumbs down in this moment, isn't it? Sure. +1 to hit for in exchange for 1 hope. Please roll for damage, Twig, as you roll a 16.
So 2d6. 4. Yay! I hope he's on like 1 hit point. Because it's just so annoying. It's so annoying, isn't it?
So, Kane, who's currently like his magical coat is on fire, and as the 3 of you kind of run up the hallway, you see as he finally sort of like gets this coat off him, like Melandra helps pull it off, and sort of like he's got his back to you, and as you approach, he turns to look to you, and like his right side is just heavily burnt. There's like the skin across his cheek and up the side of his face, and like his arm, like one arm's broken, the other one's charred, and like his face is scorched, and he looks to you and Twig, describe to me what happens.
Well, am I killing him outright in this moment, or is he still standing? Okay, God. I feel like I do feel like Twig doesn't even speak. I think it is just he twists his hand in a certain way. This does not give the man the satisfaction of anything else. As these spikes just like diagonally just go through and just pin him. It's very much like, you know, the Omen where the spear goes in.
Yeah.
It's that. It's just. It's not nice, but it is just like a proper FU to this man.
Okay.
Who has been nothing but vicious.
Very rude.
And he gets any viciousness in
He's a
return.
mean man. very
In which
nice.
case, as this ice spike drives through his sternum, erupts from his back and pins him to the floor of the bottom of the RMS Windfall, Melandra like screams and screeches and falls back away from the spluttering, dying captain, who even now sort of like it looks at the icicle protruding from his chest with a look of kind of shock and bewilderment, and you see him almost trying to sort of like pull it out, but his hands are just sliding on the slippery surface of the spike, and he looks up to you and his last death rattle rings out through the hall. In the interests of time, who's going? Well, Calliope and Del, the Galappa, they like kind of run up behind you. But starting with Goru, you're at the front. Describe to me like how you're helping you and your companions get off the ship, and like what ability you're using.
Okay, so in the spirit of this, my goal next, now that the captain's gone down, is to grab hold of Melandra to take her with us, because she needs to answer for her crime. Yeah, so the idea is Goru wants to grab Melandra and bring her with us, and en route, Goru is obviously been cutting these people down. No one's going to be messing with Goru, so he's just paving the way, and with the sheer bulking intimidation of this bloodied greatsword, and he is not amused from what he's just found out, and what it feels guilty of sort of being a part of. So the idea is, as he's going through, anything that looks like it could be damaged, to make the ship go down faster for our departure, he's just gonna, like a mast on the deck, he will just swing his sword to damage it as we're leaving, so that the ship does go down when we leave.
Okay.
So using all his strength.
Okay. In which case, there's going to be like two rolls. So, give me the roll for the grabbing of the Melandra.
So yeah, it's going to be strength based.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, with this, I don't have any hope left. Oh well. Yeah, it's going to be strength. I have no hope to spend, so I'm just going to make this a straight roll of +2 in this scenario. Don't fail me. Yes. So that is a 23 with fear.
23 fear. So you grab Melandra. I will take a point of fear. I'm up to 4. And like using effective, so yeah, you lunge forward and you grab this elf, and effectively you're almost using her as like a battering ram
shield
of sorts.
Yeah.
As you stomp up through the ship, like leaving a trail of destruction. Well, roll me your second strength. Well, roll me your second check for the trail of
Would you
destruction.
like me to roll an attack roll for this rather
Sure.
than strength?
Sure.
Just for, I mean, it's all going to be the same. It's +2 either way. But the idea is I'm using my sword to just damage things as we're making away, so the ship does go down rather than. Yeah. So let me just roll.
Bye, Theo.
17 +2, 18, 19 with hope.
With hope. Okay, so you get 1 hope. Okay, in which case, yeah, you are. You successfully kind of leave this trail of destruction in your wake as you move your way up to the top deck. Next up is tell you what, let's go with Nate.
Hello.
What's Ruby doing to help you escape? You and your companions escape from the ship.
If I can in any way, I'd like to just use some sort of elemental air magic to sort of help carry the Galappa quicker.
Okay.
I guess that may very well be instinct, but there's not really much else I can. There's no sort of real roles with it unless you can think of anything, because it just says lets you manipulate and shape a certain kind of element. So I can manipulate, but I can channel it to do harm. But like I'm happy enough to spend a hope to help do that instead. So instead of doing harm, I'm actually helping.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm with that. So that takes you down to 1 hope.
Cool. And that is me. Yeah, that's me done. I'm just going to be helping getting them out.
Oh, so sorry. Was there? Sorry, I blanked out a little bit. Was there a roll of sorts? Sorry.
Didn't seem like it. No, it's just the one that like I can spend hope to increase either the attack or the damage. But I've said I will spend hope to actually help.
To actually carry
these
them
people.
along. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
In which case, well, let's go with Greg. What's Greg doing to help you get up through the ship?
Someone's setting off fireworks, so I'm just holding Pablo's head so he doesn't scream. What will Greg do? I don't. Is he going to help anyone? Is Greg the kind of person that's going to help anyone, or is he just going to run for his own sake as fast as he can? Maybe
Probably
grab
just
his...
go left. Get on the ship.
Just grabbing a bottle of booze as he passes through the kitchen. I think actually, could I? Does Calliope look like she's needs any help?
Well, so she seems like it seems to be easier for her to carry Dell now that the two of them are being supported by Ruby's kind of air magic. But otherwise, so as you're going up through the ship, there's still a couple of like skirmishes, but you notice that interestingly, sort of like some of the crewmates, now that they've realized the ship is beginning to list quite heavily, a lot of them seem to be kind of moving up in the same direction as the group of you in an attempt to, well, they're heading up to the main deck. And in their place, you see that there are a number of Crimson Pirates kind of down in these lower decks, seemingly looking for the other passengers on this ship.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that there's other passengers around.
Yep.
Fab, I would like to use something that I have that is new.
Okay.
Can I spend a hope, please?
Yes, that will take you down to 2.
As Greg sees that there are people in need that might need things, doors need opening, crew members that need help or passengers that need help being notified that we need to get out of here ASAP.
Maybe your speed.
He does like a funny little shake and just kind of rolls his shoulders out, and he just steps to one side, and then you notice that there is another Greg, a shadow Greg, that has formed right next to him.
Yeah.
As I have a new spell called Midnight Spirit, and I get to create a shadow form of myself that can carry things and also travel at a very far range.
Okay.
Basically like Mage Hand, but a whole body.
Yeah.
That moves fast.
That moves fast. So he hasn't told anyone that he could do this. He just kind of just goes, ugh, and it's just kind of like he sheds his skin, but his skin just becomes another shadowy form of himself. And just this little Greg pops up, also with a shadowy cigar, and just starts opening doors. And Greg's opening doors. This little shadow Greg's opening doors, And he's just like, gotta go. Go on, Ed. Gotta go. We're going down, we're going down with the ship, but I ain't going down with this bloody shit. Piece of shit.
Okay. Ooh, amazing. Right, we've got a Shadow Greg token. Hang on, let's go. If I do this and then token opacity. Oh no, wait, hold. Update token. Yeah, that'll do. Shadow Greg.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shadow Greg is off helping. Well, there's a part of me that's almost imagining like police office, like traffic officer.
Yeah, just.
That's right. Okay, cool.
Just opening doors, waking people up.
In which case, okay, so you're doing that. So if you're kind of looking for people, what skill are you rolling?
That would be. What would that be? I mean, I could do. If I'm going around, I could do sprint. If I'm doing.
Because I will say,
performance.
basically, it's almost as if the GM is seeing how many fear tokens he can total up.
Total up, yeah. So, what would you like?
You tell me. You tell me what skill you're using to do what it is you just said.
I think I'll probably have to use agility. I think it's just mad running, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just trying to find as many people as possible.
Okay.
Fabulous, roly for that one. It's fabulous. Believe fearful.
It's a very, very high roll. Okay, so you successfully managed to help the Crimson Clouds find some of the people that are kind of tucked away, kicking open or picking the locks on doors that have been jammed.
Or just the shadow form, just going through doors.
Yeah. Or under the door frame and then
Yeah, exactly. Just through the keyhole.
okay, so you successfully managed to do that, so we'll leave Shadow Greg down here. So we will move you up to the top floor. Okay, so you make it back out onto the onto the main deck, and as like at this point the ship is almost at a 45-degree angle, so you're having to constantly kind of lean to the left to stop yourself from sliding down. You can notice that a number of the crewmates are currently fighting over what appear to be parachutes of a sort, like aerial wing gear, and Calliope looks to you and we have to be quick. It's going to snap my ship in half, she says, pointing at the Crimson Cloud that's kind of wedged into the side of the ship, but is currently kind of getting higher and higher as the Windfall tips. So last but not least, Twig, what are you doing to aid in the escape from this ship? And what skill is it you're using?
If my internet will allow me, hopefully you can still hear me and see me for a bit. Good. Oh, good. I think maybe what Twig will probably suggest, if they're able to get on the ship, he'll use the power push. He'll like do a bit like what Ruby was doing, where using a spell but in a way that normally wouldn't be used, I guess. Is I could use the power push spell to push the Crimson Cloud away from the falling ship, like using that energy to like separate, so that when we're safely away, it just separates them, which I can roll for, because it's technically a melee attack, but if you want me to roll for it or roll with knowledge or something, I'm happy to.
Yeah, roll. You tell me what you'd like to roll.
I mean, I don't really. I mean, it is a spell, so I think I should roll my spell cast.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll roll a spell cast, but there will be no damage in relation to it. Obviously.
So just double check. You've basically the group of you are kind of getting onto the Crimson Cloud, waiting for like the rest of the pirate crew and the passengers, and then this is the disembarking.
Push off.
Okay. Okay. In which case, aboard this very now packed sloop of a ship, roll me a spellcast roll.
Cool. Just checking.
If anyone's got any hope,
is there anyone who'd like to help me?
Yep.
Because I feel like it could be quite useful. Because if I screw this up and we all die because I push wrong, I'd be very annoyed with myself.
Or we push too hard.
So if anyone would,
Yeah,
it's true.
do you know what? I only got one hope, but what is one hope? This is the moment where this is the time. This is the now. We need to do. We need to escape. I will give my one hope to give you advantage. If no one else.
I mean,
Maybe you, like,
Twig has.
I have a lot of hope.
Twig has.
I have a lot of hope. So
that's almost teamwork worthy.
Yeah, so I can roll. Yeah, so if maybe
and I can use my strength to push the ship away.
Yeah.
With
You're
your
like
force
pushing with your force field, and then Goru's like
and I will
using his legs to like push off, like he's doing a swimming.
And I'll using my funny enough, I have an experience in this called Incredible Strength.
There you go.
I am happy to use my last hope on that.
For that, okay, okay.
So I should get a +4 now to my strength, plus a d6 with a... No, sorry. You get your roll as well, because you're doing a tag team, isn't that right?
Yeah.
So we both roll. I'm going to do my strength roll. Yeah, I'm going to do my strength roll with +4.
Okay. I'm just going to warn you lot that I'm on 5 fear. And it'd be a real shame if I capped out. So roll them bones.
Alright.
Oh.
Okay, so are you going to use the 14 plus what, Twig? +2, I'm guessing?
Yes, there's a +2 for my power push. So that is 16 with hope for me.
Or a 25 with fear.
What would you rather use? 25 with fear or 16 with hope?
I think the 16 with hope is going to be the better scenario in this instance.
You don't
Even though I've got a high roll, I think 15 should... Well, beating 15 should do it in this scenario. And getting hope, not giving that extra fear to... especially we want to be succeeding in this. In the spirit of the hope and fear system, I think we should go with your roll.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
16 with hope. As the last of the pirates retreat to a crimson cloud, the pirates remove the grapplers. And as you begin, describe to me, Twig, what this... both of you, describe to me what this teamwork looks like very, very specifically, as all the people cram onto this, relatively small boat. A relatively small ship, I should say. What does the teamwork look like?
I mean, I always imagined it with, like, I'm using the power push spell to literally push against the ship, so like the momentum of us pushing will push us back. So I don't know whether, as at the same time you are using your ultimate strength to also propel as far as you can.
Okay.
So like you're like pushing off as I'm pushing off. So
in which case, you can hear the sounds of the hull of the Crimson Cloud that the pirate sloop that you're on. You can hear the hull creaking and groaning as the almost free falling Windfall begins kind of bending it at the prow. You, Ruby, Greg, you hear all of the like all of the passengers that have been kind of moved onto this ship, they're cowering and screaming in terror as like the two ships are effectively wrestling with one another. Calliope strides to sort of like her perch, and she turns to Dell and shouts, "Got it!" she shouts, as the Galapa like musters as much strength as they can and begins conjuring air magic, which then combines with your magic twig and your strength, Goru, and with an almighty screech, the prow of the Crimson Cloud rips free of the Windfall. And as that happens, Dell turns their hands up and begins to kind of fire air magic into the sails of the sloop in order to spin the ship around. And as the sloop whizzes away from the free-falling ship of the line, you watch the Windfall disappear through the cloud layer into the terrain below. Dell drops to the deck exhausted, and the pirates invite you to take your rest with them as they see to the damage from the battle. The Galapa turns to you and says, "Thank you for saving me. Thank you for saving me. I don't know how much longer I could have survived that in that accursed machine. You made the right choice. I promise." And Calliope heads over and kind of places an arm on the Galapa's shoulder and leads them away to get some well-needed rest. As you float through as you're floating through the clouds on this ship, which is surprisingly quick, you watch as the deep blue skies slowly transition to a beautiful fuchsia, and a short while after you see the glimpse of the sun rising over the horizon as a new day dawns. With the excitement of the night now slightly behind you, and now that you've had a few moments to rest, Captain Calliope approaches you, and with a nod, she thanks you. "I appreciate everything you did for us. It was quite bold of me to have gone in so brashly, but you've done a good thing. Is there anything we can do to help, or what are your plans now?" "Yes, Goru."
I wish to give my thoughts first. If we had known there was a prisoner being tortured on the ship like that, I would not have been so quick to turn my blade against your crew. For that, I am sorry."
Calliope kind of purses her lips a bit and, "Well, yeah, I mean, there is that. I'm sure give them some time and perhaps the crew will come round to not hating your guts for murdering a load of us, but I mean, if nothing else, we've got some vacancies on the crew."
Right to the corner.
We could be pirates. Go.
She lets that thought linger in the air for a moment. Well, whatever you decide to do, whether you're with us or you want to get off at the next stop, I'm happy to do whatever. You've done a good thing helping us retrieve Del. The Windfall, they were looking for a treasure. It belonged to Captain Key. I knew him well before. But now the Windfall's not after it. It's going to be a bit rude not to go for it ourselves. So the offer's there if you want it.
Ooh. That little thingamajig that Melandra had.
Yeah.
She still got it.
Yeah.
Yes, Calliope, as she says this, produces the astrolabe. And she looks to it and she's not entirely sure how it turns on.
Yeah, get Greg to do it.
And she looks to you, Greg, and sort of like chucks it over to you. And as you grab it and you press that button that you did last night, the golden map explodes out of it, showing the mountainside dwarven hold that you saw momentarily before. And through the map, Calliope smiles and, with us or not, I guess we'll just have to see, won't we? She says. And as she heads back to sort of like her captain's perch, are there any final thoughts that the four of you have as you soar through the skies on this pirate ship?
I think Greg just assumes obviously we're going to become pirates and obviously we're going to go get treasure. Like, what other option is there? So, yeah. He just kind of gets himself comfy. He's like, so yeah, treasure. Right? It's going to be brilliant, isn't it? I could get used to this air travel stuff. It's pretty alright, isn't it, really, actually? Get used to the scenery around here, he says, looking at Calliope.
Where's Goru's head at?
Oru, in response, will just calmly go,
I will go where you three go. That is my purpose for now.
What's Ruby thinking?
From Del's actions, can I tell then he's also like an air sorcerer?
Yes. So now that you're on the Crimson Cloud, you would have had enough time to see that Del has what is effectively like a little navigator's pod, like just behind the sails, and they use their magic to effectively kind of buffet the sails to accelerate, to change course, and it's quite a beautifully kind of natural flowing movement that they have, which stands in complete contrast to the kind of mechanical rigidity of the silver engine, and how that almost seemed to be forcefully drawing the magic from them to power the ship. That's clearly how they were able to get such speeds, because they turned this poor Galapa into a battery for all intents and purposes. But Del looks quite like peaceful as they kind of manipulate the winds around you to kind of carry the ship onwards.
Well, I think we're in a bit of a pickle here now anyway. Like, we're probably wanted murderers now.
Now?
Well, yeah. Well, that was... We were killing, creatures that the kingdom wanted us to, but, now that Captain Kane is no longer here, and the Windfall has fallen. There's probably going to be lots of things coming after us very soon. So it's probably best that we stick here for a while.
If anyone was alive to tell the tale.
Well, some of them did escape.
They might not even know it's Kane. Like, Twig here burnt its face off pretty much, didn't he? So they might not even know it is. He looks like a bit of barbecue ham, doesn't he?
Above board, what a lot of the crew members did see...
Is he actually barbecue ham?
Yeah, barbecue hat. What above board? Really, the crew did see us defending from the pirates, and then we went below deck, and then we appeared above deck when the ship was falling down, and we just went onto the pirate ship as everyone, the remaining crew who was fighting.
No one saw us char him to death. No one saw.
Twig politely puts his finger up.
You were carrying the mage while destroying things on your way upstairs.
Escorting.
Speaking of which,
what were you doing?
Speaking of which, what are we doing with Melandra?
She's currently tied and bound in the ship somewhere.
I think in that response, in character, Goru is saying,
Twig, do you want to have words with her before? I think the captain should take ownership.
Twig is so torn. This is not his usual rodeo. It's not his first rodeo using that spell, but it is certainly his first time killing an official of the king. So that's great. Much loved war hero Captain Kane is not Twig. The wizards of little assistant man from the capital. Who are they going to believe? I think Twig is very much... He wants to speak to Melandra, but he also... They were on the ship for a reason, and now he's not entirely sure if the... what is it called? The rare magical component they were looking for, was that safe? Was that someone else being abused? What was that? And it's really screwing with his head. So he's kind of I think for now, we stay here and we support these people who have taken us in, and we do our best, and we see what lies before us.
Treasure.
But we need to be wary of what's going on here, because if someone as much beloved and supported by the kingdom was someone like Captain Kane, who by all accounts was abusing someone for their own gains, which is what Melandra was also doing, then who knows how deep that rot goes. And that concerns me very much. So yes, I think for now we recoup and we rest and we take stock in what's going on, and if that means assisting our friends here, then so be it for now.
Okay. Well, as the Crimson Cloud effortlessly cuts through the sky, as you head on to your next location, a drop off for the passengers, safe harbour. You have made an ally of the pirates, but perhaps you have now made an enemy of the Royal Navy. And as you wonder what lies before you as adventurers go, I think that's where we're going to end the session. Congratulations, everyone, on completing the Open Beta playtest for Marauders of Windfall.
Yay!
Amazing. Well, I think what we're going to do, just looking at the time, if the four of you are happy to, let's grab like a real short break and then be back at like 10:30, and then just have a quick like half-hour wrap up, have a little natter, talk about how we felt, and then maybe what we're doing going forward. Amazing.
Sounds good.
Cool. So, if you are watching live or if you're watching after the fact, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit the like button and comment down below. And if you want to see more stuff like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications when we release new videos, because we're doing that very frequently. We wouldn't want you to miss out. If you are watching live, yeah, but we'll be back in a few minutes to do a little catch up.
Yeah.
See you all in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.